I had an interesting discussion the evening after the launch. Sitting together, somebody said, "This is the end of the beginning." And we had a little debate about whether it was the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end.
Well, leaves don't fall in the spring or summer, but you can make a flower bloom whenever you wanna, 'cause you got something that everyone wants, so you got, yeah, you got some.
And the first thing I noticed was just clouds and clouds of dust, red dust blowing through the streets.
You could definitely feel the excitement in the air when we were just driving through the streets.
And I just wanted to let you know that you always make me smile when I'm feeling so low. Just wanted to let you know.
December 6, 2010 was one of the most important milestones in public health. We began the introduction of the meningitis vaccine within Burkina Faso, and soon after that, within a week, within Mali and Niger.
This is an important issue, and this is why development of this vaccine should play an important role in terms of making life, frankly, a bit better in a very tough area.
It was really exciting to see the first children get their immunizations. Obviously, a few of them weren't very happy to be given a shot, but they are going to be one of the first generations to live without the fear of this disease.
There was a sense of great excitement there, and there was also a lot of pageantry. This was a massive public health effort between the World Health Organization, PATH, the Serum Institute, partners all over the world. But for me personally, seeing the village effort was very inspiring.
When we were planning for it, we said, how will we make sure people come out? And the Burkina Ministry of Health officials said, that's not going to be a problem.
They would come from all directions and in really almost all modes of transportation.
I remember in Saba, we spoke with the village chief.
And I asked him if he knew anyone who'd been affected by meningitis, and sure enough, he'd lost a 3-year-old son to the disease.
About a quarter of individuals are incapacitated, either in terms of loss of mental facilities or something even more dramatic such as deafness.
This is a problem people know because they've experienced it in their immediate families.
We almost never talked to somebody who hadn't been affected.
On the third day, we visited the Safise school, a school that provides education for deaf students as well as hearing students.
The grand majority of the children who are deaf at this school are deaf as a result of meningitis. And many of these children come from very impoverished backgrounds, so their families don't have resources to begin with.
The director of the school, Madame Kafando, is a very vibrant woman. And her hope is that she won't have students who are deaf in the future because of the meningitis vaccine. We met Florence Ouadreago at the school, and she invited us back to her home to meet her mother and sister. When we arrived at the Ouadreago's home, it was very dark, and the mother, Rosalie, just very matter-of-factly began to tell us their story. She had 3 children, and one after the other, they became sick with meningitis, and one after the other, they lost their hearing. Her son now was living with an uncle. Dion had severe disabilities and wasn't able to go to school anymore. So she and her mother spent their days weaving purses, and they sold those to make a living.
A lot of times we talk about how we go through the process of developing these types of things, but really going to the country and meeting the people affected makes it real in a whole different way. And that's really the ultimate goal of this work, is so that mothers like Rosalie don't have to go through what she had to go through with her family.
It is the end of the development of the vaccine. We have developed a safe, effective vaccine at an affordable price and launched it with 20 million people. But that's just the beginning.
We know we can save a lot of lives, and so it gives me hope that others can join us and that we can move forward and have a huge impact.
Take your time, dear, but come back soon. May your journeys take you places that you never knew. But when your heart's at peace and your mind is quiet, just to remember, baby, you're mine.
I have a better understanding of what people go through in countries where health is not a given, where you don't know if you're going to be able to save your child should your child become ill.
I just wanted to let you know that you always make me smile when I'm feeling so low.
It's going to be a generational change. It's amazing to think about the potential of all these bright young people, to think about what they'll be able to do as entrepreneurs, as young leaders, as economically productive members of their societies. It's a pretty hopeful day.
Just wanted to let you know.